Operating System Deathmatch!
Deathmatch?
Deathmatch! Ah! In this corner we have Fahim Rashad representing Windows XP. In this corner we have Nadeem Haidar representing Ubuntu. And in this corner we have Lucas Daniel, Mac OS X. And in this corner we have
iOS.
Yeah, right. Anyway, today we'll be watching them face off to see which operating system will rise above all others. First, Fahim Rashad, take it away. Windows XP, aka Windows Experience, was first released on August 24th, 2001. It was heavily criticized at first due to its virus issues and other security problems. This led Microsoft to release a series of 3 service packs. Windows XP Service Pack 1 was released in September 2002, which main feature was a set program access defaults service, which enabled users to set the default programs to run certain files, such as media files. Service Pack 2 came out in August 2004. Its main improvements involved security issues, introducing a Wi-Fi wizard, and enabled Bluetooth connection. Service Pack 3, which is basically a giant clump of 1,174 updates, came out in April 2008. Windows XP was Microsoft's longest running and most successful operating system, running from 2001 to 2007, when it was succeeded by Vista. Windows XP has always been one of the leading operating systems in the world. In May 2011, the percentage of use of Windows XP was at 40.7%. This operating system is mostly used for personal computers, whether it be desktops or laptops. Windows XP is all about optimizing personal computer use, but is also great for business. If you already have a previous copy of Windows, an upgrade is about $100 to $200. Authentic XP copies go for about $250 to $300 though. Windows XP is compatible with a vast amount of software and hardware. Gamers prefer operating on Windows XP over any other operating system because of its vast amounts of exclusive games. But Windows XP still has many cons, mostly being its big BIOS issues. Windows Experience is still the most vulnerable with security and spyware. It's also described as being unstable, but this is just due to the large amounts of configurations it allows. All in all, Windows Experience's ease of use and adjustability is probably the biggest reason why it's one of the leading operating systems.
8.3% of computers use a Mac operating system as of May 2011. A new Mac operating system can cost anywhere between $125 and $165. The Mac operating system is only supported on Apple Macintosh computers. The keyboard on Mac has a command button which can be used to access many built-in shortcuts to make access to them quicker. It also has control in all buttons. There are 3 ways to close a program on a Mac. The first way is to press Command plus Q, which will exit the program completely. The second is to right-click on the program icon and press Exit, and the third is to click on the program name and also press Exit. The pros of a Mac include, it's easier to use for the non-technical, content creation is its strength, more secure than Windows due to its Unix base. The Mac is also more stable than Windows due to Apple's tighter control over the configuration options in its Unix base. There is almost no spyware or virus applications. It is more powerful than Windows also due to its Unix base, and you have almost complete access to an enormous library of free open source applications. The cons of a Mac include, it is more expensive upfront than other choices. Some would say this is offset by less maintenance over the required life of the system. There's less support for a Mac. You have to go to the Apple Store for all your hardware problems. There's less hardware choices than Windows as well. For your average user, this isn't much of a problem. All the common hardware types will work. And it is more complex than Windows due to its Unix base. This really isn't a major con because OS X does a great job of hiding this from the end user. Mac is the operating system designed to be included with the computers made by Apple computers. The first Mac was released on January 24th, 1984, which included the first Mac operating system, at the time simply called the System Software. It is credited for popularizing the graphical user interface. Since the beginning, the Mac operating system has been included with almost every Apple computer sold, and you can buy it at Apple stores and online. The idea of Mac was envisioned by Jeff Raskin in January 1979, who wanted to make an easy-to-use and affordable computer for the whole family and average consumer. Raskin recruited Burrell Smith, and in January 1981, Steve Jobs took over the project. Since then, Mac computers have had a great deal of success, becoming the second most popular operating system and making billions of dollars. The directed audience of Mac include upper and middle class families, people who enjoy programs such as Outlook, and people who use use of Mac for edited software, music enthusiasts, and professionals in media design.
Ubuntu is an operating system developed by the Ubuntu Foundation as an open source operating system heavily based off of Linux. Approximately 50% of Linux users are Ubuntu users. That means there are 12 million Ubuntu users worldwide. Ubuntu is a fork of the Debian operating system. The original aim of Ubuntu was to create an easy-to-use, GUI-like Linux operating system. Ubuntu was first released on October 20, 2004. Since then, the Ubuntu team has released a new version every 6 months, the latest being 11.04. Ubuntu is a completely open source operating system, which means anybody can download, edit, and share the source code. Also, all of the programs on Ubuntu are completely free. Ubuntu is also used by servers worldwide. That includes web servers and cloud computing servers. Because Ubuntu is a Linux-based operating system, it is widely accepted by hackers. However, that does not mean that ordinary users cannot use Ubuntu. It is very user-friendly. The pros of Ubuntu include: it's free, it's open source, it's updated consistently, has a great graphical user interface, and it's unrestricted. The cons of Ubuntu include: it is not widely adopted, not many companies make programs for it, there aren't too many drivers, and it's not very good for modern gaming.
Apple originally released the iOS on June 29, 2007, which later got the name iOS in 2010. Apple uses their famous iTunes to update the iOS, just like all types of iPods. The iOS is the operating system used for Apple's mobile devices, such as iPad, the iPod Touch, and the iPhone. For the iPod Touch, Apple decided to make a price of $9.99 to upgrade from the iOS 3 to the iOS 4. Otherwise, the iOS comes with the mobile device you buy. The target audience of the iOS are meant for people that are on the go. The pros of iOS can include that there's many different applications with various different things to do on it, and it's fast and easy to use on the go. The main con with the iOS is that it's not as versatile as other operating systems. This is the interface part of the iOS. The iOS has a slide function to open up the main page. This feature will open a password page if you haven't made a password. The layout for the iOS consists of 4 main applications, all of which come with the iOS. The 4 applications are Music, Video, Mail, and Safari. These 4 main apps are on the bottom of the touchscreen. The rest of the applications are on a 4x4 layout. The operating system has a touch feature so you can fit many pages of apps, which can be scrolled with the sweep of a finger. You can also customize the background with a picture you saved, or you can use one off the internet. Apple has also added other applications along with their upgraded operating systems, such as FaceTime, an application that allows people with the same product to virtually web chat using built-in cameras on their iPod Touch, iPhone, or iPad. Apple has also added grouping, a new way to put applications into one folder, making your product's operating system organized. Apple decided to use a much more innovative and creative use of commands and controls. Unlike on the Apple's Mac or the PC, the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch use the fingertips as their own utility. For example, the iPod Touch, Apple, iPad, or the iPhone use the spreading of the index finger and your thumb to enlarge the zoom of your web browser, picture, or so on.
Okay, so this is the interface part of Ubuntu. As you can see, it's a lot like Mac in terms of the sidebar. Of course, on Mac it's on the bottom. The start menu is basically a search bar like Windows 7. As an example, I am going to search Writer, with LibreWriter to be exact, which is a free version of Microsoft Word. It comes built into Ubuntu, so you don't have to worry about downloading that. As you can see, you can take the window and snap it to the left and right, where it will take half the screen. You could also bring it to the top, where it will maximize the window. I'm going to write some words over here. So, hello, my name is CNanners. I am also going to show you how to save it. So, File, Save As, and you choose the directory which you want to save it in. In my case, desktop. And I'm going to give it a name, my document 1. You can also save it with a password, but that's optional. Okay, so I'm going to minimize the window, which is going to go to the sidebar, and when I want to maximize it, we'll bring it back up. This is pretty much exactly like Mac. Okay, so now I'm going to close it, and I'm going to show you how it opens. So you just double click on the icon, and it will bring it back the exact way it was. Okay, so this is the shortcuts menu in the start menu, where you can open up programs right away. Again, the sidebar is a lot like Mac. It comes with the trash and everything, where you can empty it out. Also comes with a taskbar with chat, sound, log off screen, and pretty much everything that you need over there. So Ubuntu, of course, is a distribution of Linux which is heavily based off of the terminal. So this is how you open it. You go to the start menu, search terminal, and you open it up. And of course, if you're not an administrator user, you have to type in sudo su, which will give you administrative rights. And I'm not going to show you any advanced things, so I'm just going to close it right now. And that's basically the interface of Ubuntu.
Windows XP's default wallpaper is a photograph of a landscape in the Napa Valley called Bliss. Windows XP really stepped up its graphical user interface from the days of Windows 2000. The start menu and taskbar were updated and many visual effects were added, including a translucent blue selection rectangle in Explorer, drop shadows for icon labels on the desktop, task-based toolbars in Explorer windows, the ability to group the taskbar buttons of the windows of one application into one button, and the ability to lock the taskbar and other toolbars to prevent accidental changes. The highlighting of recently added programs in the start menu is also a big feature. Windows XP's layout operates from left to right and top to bottom. There's a start button at the bottom left corner of the screen which shows all the programs installed on the PC. Most programs also have sidebars with many common task options, such as open or save. You can also execute these many commands with a combination of the control key and various other keys, like Ctrl+C for copying. Running and quitting programs is very easy to do on Windows XP. You can access the shutdown menu and the start menu, where you can choose between shutting down, restarting, or putting it to sleep. You can also press the power button once and Windows shuts itself down.
The operating system has a range of programs along a bottom bar and can have many icons reading from right to left for the background images. There is a bar along the top with many drop menus, which are used for many services. The Mac menu has drop menus that occur when you click on them. When you click through the menu, you can find a variety of options and customizations to suit your needs. The desktop on the Mac operates from right to left for icons and in no particular order for other things. The top bar has options throughout the whole thing and the bottom bar is centered. It also reads top to bottom.
Stop pretending to be an operating system!
You'll never be one of us!
Alright guys, let's go.